Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Pillar to Post. We are here live following the last episode of Collision. How's everyone doing tonight? So I got my chat up so I can see what's going down. And we've got Atticus Black in the house. We have Blazed Radio. You guys know him as Blaze McCoy. Hope you guys all enjoyed the show. Now, tomorrow night, we all know, Forbidden Door starts officially at 7. They're going to have I guess what they would call a pre-show. And then 8 o'clock, the pay-per-view goes live, Forbidden Door. Should be a good one. I don't agree with some of the matches, but you know what? Most of them, for the most part, are dream matches, and there's going to be a lot involved. And it should be still good. You know, great even. We've got some stories behind it. We've got Omega and his opponent, which my mind is blanking on right now. Forgive me. I'm getting back involved with the wrestling. Bring this up here, bring my notes up, and make sure that I've got everything ready. Now, tonight's show start off with Tony Schiavone asking Darby Allin and Sting to come out, let everyone know who their partner will be at Forbidden Door. And frankly, we all knew who it was going to be, but instead of Sting and Darby Allin coming out, it was Jericho. And I kind of liked his attitude towards the Toronto fans. Shut the fuck up. I'm from Winnipeg, not Toronto. I get it. I love it. I'm a Manitoba boy myself. And so it kind of was a good deal. Now, I got to scroll through my notes here because I'm an idiot. Okay. So, after telling Schiavone to shut up, Jericho went on to proclaim how good of friends him and Suzuki were, did their own special little handshake, and then bitched and moaned about how Sting has been keeping them waiting for so many days. And then he turns on Schiavone and basically starts berating him until, bang, you knew what was going to happen. Sting, Darby Allin come out. Darby Allin lets Sammy Guevara know. He knows he's watching from at home. So if you show up at Forbidden Door and you decide to stand next to Suzuki and Jericho, you're going to get your ass kicked. So, you know, I think their plans to keep that four pillars kind of theme going. I think it's a good deal. And then Darby Allin turns around and kind of reminds Chris Jericho of a loss he took at the Tokyo Dome, and the fans erupt, start chanting Naito. We all figured who it was going to be. It was all over the place. I think as soon as they said a mystery opponent, everyone kind of knew. So good to see Naito in there. You know, and it ends with Jericho, Suzuki leaving the ring, wanting no part of it. The combination between Suzuki and Jericho, I don't know, it doesn't mesh well with me. You know, the fans seem to want to cheer for Suzuki, but I don't know. You know? So, first match on the docket, we've got Swerve Strickland and Hiroshi Tanahashi. I've seen a lot of Tanahashi's matches in the past, and like everyone knows, I've been away from wrestling, haven't been really paying attention to it. Age really creeping up on this fella, you know? It's going to happen to a lot of wrestlers as they get older. I believe he's like 47 now. So at the very beginning of the match, it was going very slow. You could see him favoring that knee, and everyone knows his chronic pain issues with that knee, the issues that he struggled with throughout for a long time with that knee. So it really came into play here, and it started making me think, okay, he's going to be taking on MJF at Forbidden Door. Now, he did begin to speed up against Swerve Strickland, but you would also see him almost fall off the top of the turnbuckles as well. My opinion, it's not going to be a good match when we get to Forbidden Door. And then, yes, he beats Swerve Strickland. It just, the match did not favor him at all. You can disagree in the chat. Anyone that's seen it, I think, clearly would agree. We'll see how he does tonight. Maybe he picks it up for a bigger show. We'll see. There's an instant in this matchup where even his body slam on Swerve in the corner looked very weak as well. It looked like he was being very ginger the way he slammed Swerve Strickland to the mat. He still hits his top rope. Swerve Strickland did a nice job covering for it. But in the end, it was Tanahashi taking the win. At the end of the match, during a brief celebration, we heard MJF's music hit his shit on the Tron, and he comes up and basically says, didn't really want to be involved, so he's requested, oh yeah, he's got a really bad knees, Bill, so he's requested that his match with Tanahashi be at the top of the show tomorrow night so he can get the fuck out of Toronto. I think they could have picked someone that he's been feuding with that could take the loss and it not be a big deal, and it would have been a great match. I don't see this match being great at Forbidden Door. Tanahashi, MJF. We all know MJF can work with about anyone, but this match did not make him look good right before pay-per-view. My opinion. Tanahashi taking the win over Swerve Strickland, and we move on. Brody King versus Andrade El Idolo. I knew this match was going to be a good one. Okay, both these guys, when they're rocking in that ring, they both look like they throw hard. They connect hard. And that, to me, is good. They like to emphasize the impact. Even though there might not be that much impact, it looks hard-hitting, as it should be. And these two had a very competitive match. I enjoyed it thoroughly. We seen the chick, what the fuck is her name? Julia Hart get involved a couple of times, utilizing the mask of El Idolo to distract him, having it in her hands. It worked at times. At times, he was able to get his mind back in the ring. Brody King looks like a beast when he's hitting you. It doesn't matter what it is. He goes at you full tilt. El Idolo does the same thing. I've always loved Andrade in WWE. I think they used him wrong. And I think with Collision, they're utilizing him a lot better here in AEW. So I really loved seeing that. Now, the win would have gone to a count if not for the interference of Buddy Matthews. Buddy Matthews coming in at the point where Brody King would have taken the 1-2-3. And being part of the World Trios champion, you don't want him to look bad. I'm talking about Brody King here. So Buddy Matthews comes in, breaks up the count, starts laying into Andrade. And at the very end, we see Malachi Black appear on the Tron. And the House of Black poses with the mask. Julia Hart raising it high. The lights go out. Bada bing, bada boom. Andrade El Idolo takes the win via a disqualification. Like I said, he's got that, don't fuck with me kind of look, attitude. Brody King, Andrade, fucking great in that ring as always. And it's good to see them utilizing them properly. Julia Hart getting involved, keeps her presence in there, being accompanying members of the House of Black down the ringside, always being there to cause a distraction. They're utilizing her. I didn't enjoy watching her wrestle. I think she needed a lot more training. Her last match I seen looked a lot better from about, a year ago since I stopped watching. So it was nice to see. And well, fuck, we move on some more. Yes, Brody King is a fucking monster. If it turns out good, it will all be on MJF. Yeah, I see MJF having to carry Tanahashi a lot in that match to make it look good, to be good. I don't think MJF wants to walk out of any arena looking bad with anyone he's fighting. So he's going to have to make Tanahashi look really good. This last match, though, Brody King and Andrade El Idolo, spot on. I think they ended it the correct way. I think it should have ended it in a disqualification. You don't want a champion looking bad. You don't want Andrade looking bad since he just returned. So for them to go as hard as they did, end in a disqualification due to interference, and then playing up to it, the commentators doing a fine job playing up to it that Buddy Matthews took a loss. Actually, it wouldn't have been a 1-2-3 tonight. It would have been the figure 8 lock. Once again, El Idolo showcasing that his shoulder was banged up pretty good in that match. I do apologize getting it mixed up between a 1-2-3. But they played to it really well, ended it the correct way. Champions should never lose in a non-title bout, in my opinion. DQs, I think, work better. This gives a feud between Matthews as well as Brody King with Andrade. Perhaps they find him a partner, or he, has a crew with him. Who knows? Should be good. Willow Nightingale versus Nyla Rose. This is part of the tournament for the Owen Hart Foundation. I believe this is the first round. I could be wrong. But before we went there, Christian Cage came out with the TNT champion, and basically he's looking at it as it's his title. We all know Luchasaurus defeated Wardlow for it, and very much the old Christian Cage attitude we've seen when he goes heel. It's all about him. I don't think this guy could ever get out of that kind of character. It's always the same shtick. I'm frankly over it. I think they need to be pushing Luchasaurus a little bit more. But it is what it is. It's not about making Luchasaurus look good. It's about Christian Cage. Not my cup of tea. It is his basic heel promo that he usually gives. Wasn't big on it, but he's good at what he does. He isn't bad on the mic. I'm just saying it's the same cup of tea every time. But that followed up with the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament between Willow Nightingale and Nyla Rose, the native beast. I haven't seen her in a long time. Never cared for her in the ring. But it was a good match. There's a couple of mishaps in that match, little miscues. Both looking good, both looking strong. You've seen the arm of Willow Nightingale take a beating, struggle to powerbomb Nyla Rose a couple of times. But in the end, Willow Nightingale, and I believe, as I stated before, as a champion, she should have taken the win, and she did. Hits her powerbomb, rolls up Nyla Rose, 1, 2, 3. Bada bing, she is going on to the, semifinals, quarterfinals? Okay, quarterfinals it is in my note. And, like I said, solid encounter. She hit Rose with a pounce, which it didn't look fantastic, but they're both big people in that ring. So the impact, it was going to be ugly. Hits her with what she calls a doctor bomb. 1, 2, 3. The Outcasts show up on the outside, surround the ring. Sky Blue runs in with a steel chair, evening the odds somewhat. You heard the Outcasts bitching, why the chair, blah, blah, blah. And they back away. Basically, the Outcasts showing that it is, Tony Storm that holds the AEW World Champion, and Willow Nightingale, just the NJPW Strong Women's Champion. I think that's all it was about. So you could see something breaking down there. Like I said, the Christian Cage spot, wasn't big on it. Pretty damn good show. thus far. Besides what I said about Tanahashi being a bit slow, he did pick up the pace. It wasn't a bad match. There was a lot of just showing off, in that matchup with Tanahashi and Swerve Strickland. I'm not a big fan of it, and I really see where video games get that from now. A lot of wrestling these days, if you watch, and this is just my opinion, they hit a move and they're jumping around and showboating like, oh my god, that actually fucking worked. It's overdone. To me, a wrestler should show that awareness in that ring and keeping their eye on their opponent at all times, but turning around constantly. And you've seen it in this match as well. Willow Nightingale hits a shotgun drop kick and she's hopping around, arms raised like she had a victory. Not a big deal for me. The test of strength was a bit of a fun thing, but, you expect that with two bigger wrestlers, even in the women's division. So, Powerhouse Hobbs up next, facing an unknown, someone from Toronto. Jeremy Prophet was said that he was trained by Jacques Rougeau. Squash match, complete squash match. There was nothing to this match of substance besides making Powerhouse Hobbs look tough. And we all know the guy's tough. I want to see him in an actual match. I don't want to see a one-sided squash match. I never do. I know it's to build characters up. Drum Monkey in the house. Yes, Nyla lost. No, I'm not a big... I'm just checking out. I go from my notes back to here. I'm checking out the comments. Yeah, the figure 8 lock. Yeah, it sucks. It doesn't look good at all. I wish he'd stop using it. Luchasaurus's gimmick, I think he needs to break away from the mask. I truly do. I know why he did it. I know why he still uses it. But I think it's time to progress and evolve his character. Get away from the dinosaur act, and just be himself a little bit more. I think people gravitate towards that a little bit more. They need another top shelf opponent for Hobbs. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Not a big deal on the squash matches. It doesn't. To me, it's never made the character look big. Never made him look strong in a match. It makes him look tough, yes. But the guy's like half his size. Clearly, as soon as you laid eyes on him, you knew he was losing. You knew he wasn't even going to be there for a match. It was just going to be put down like a dog. Hits the spine buster, 1, 2, 3. The kid did, escape a running power slam, but paid for it big time. Those vicious clotheslines to the pectoral region and then the back just ragdolled the kid. He could have laid him out with the first one, but no, instead he went for 4 more and then ended it with the spine buster. Squash match. What's left to say? Really? The main event, and some of you might think I'm rushing a little bit, and I do apologize. I'm getting used to doing the reviews again, and I'll talk a little bit more after I go through the show. The main event, I wasn't shocked when CM Punk came out. There was a chorus of boos from the Toronto fans. I loved it because if only Chicago sees him other than a hero, and everyone else sees him as a heel, you know what? That's something to build on. We all know Punk has stated in his promo last week, he didn't give a shit. Love me, hate me, don't matter to him. He's here to do what he's supposed to do, and he's going to enjoy it. And I could see him really going on a good heel turn, and I think it would be beautiful if he did. FTR joining him in that heel turn would be awesome. And I think it would be a better deal trying to be face in a sea of fans that are showing you a lot of hate. Now, there was plenty of CM Punk chants out there, but there was always that resounding, boo for CM Punk, and I loved it. I loved it. I've never been a big CM Punk fan, and I've stated this many times. I love his mic skills. I think they are great. And you've seen a little bit of the ring rust breaking loose a little bit tonight. I enjoyed seeing that. He's acclimating back into the wrestling world. I think it's needed. They were starting to push him, and then Bupkis, yes, very much so. Hobbs and Wardlow both kind of just fell off that radar, the big push. A lot of back and forth in this matchup. It was balls to the wall right from the get-go. I loved it. For a bit, CM Punk got cut off. The Bullet Club as well as Gun Club working together to make sure that CM Punk couldn't make a tag for a long time there. We had, let's see, we'll discuss who was in this match. CM Punk, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, and Ricky Starks. They went up against Juice Robinson, Jay White, Austin, and Colton Gunn. A lot of chops in this match. And, this is where I kind of agree with in an interview I was watching from Bret Hart. He allowed one chop in a match. That's all his opponent got. After that, let's wrestle. You got your chop out. It doesn't need to be all about that. And I've got to agree, there was so many chops. And I know a lot of guys take this as a resting period. How much rest are you getting when the wind is driven out of your lungs by those vicious chops? And if anyone thinks those chops are nothing at all, I'm sorry. You see some of these guys welts across their chest, or when it's beet red, or you can see that blood seeping up through the pores, you know the connection is real. And to take as many chops as all these guys did tonight, unfucking believable. I don't think it was necessary, but all the way around, hard fucking hitting matchup. CM Punk looked a lot better tonight. I like that. He actually started the match off, which I didn't see happening. I thought he'd still be a little bit more protected, but it seems like he's getting ready for tomorrow night. So Punk and White start the match up, but Switchblade quickly tags out. Tags in Juice Robinson, goes from there. CM Punk has the upper hand, tags out. It was a back and forth matchup. Really fucking good. The fans really got into the match. Strong reactions to Punk all the time. Some I've heard say that it was a bit distracting. I loved it. I loved it because the fans being able to voice their distaste or their favor for whoever they want, I think it should be heard. And everyone in that match, they went with it. You seen CM Punk go to the outside after a bit, do some push-ups in front of the fans. Basically, fuck you. I don't fucking care. Brawl ensued outside, and then Juice teased hitting Punk with his own finisher, the go to sleep, but the Second City Savior countered. This kicked off a long sequence with everyone coming from both sides getting involved. The match ended with White hitting Starks with his finisher for a I thought it was a surprising victory. I didn't see them actually allowing CM Punk to take a loss here, but it wasn't Punk taking the pinfall. It was Ricky Starks. But it also makes the union of the Gun Club and the Bullet Club Gold look a little bit better as well. You seen the invitation at the end of the match while the Gun Club and Bullet Club celebrate. Switchblade raises the gun symbol up top, looks at the brothers, the Gun Club, and basically in the invitation they join in the center with all their gun fingers up. So you seen FTR, Starks on the outside with CM Punk watching the crew from the ramp. A really good match. I think this match made the show. Everything that went on. You've seen a lot of shit breaking loose. If you missed it, I'm sorry, I'm not going to call every spot in there. Wild-Eyed Yeti in the house. Makes me want chop suey. AEW does not know how to use big men. I've noticed that they really focus on the smaller guys. And, and I think this is a direct defiance to the way that WWE has done it for so long. The big guys get the big spots. The little guys are there for, just entertainment base, for whatever Vince McMahon's mind wants to play. We've seen that change recently with Triple H in more control. But we all know Vince McMahon, when he doesn't like something, he ends it and goes on his way. Tonight, I think it was a pretty solid show. I don't think Tanahashi looked strong coming out of that match. The guy's almost 50, though. Bad knees, like really fucking bad knees. He picked up his pace a little bit, had a mishap on the top turnbuckle. Swerve Strickland made him look good by kind of jumping up there and saving him a little bit, getting knocked back down. Not too bad a match. I think Willow and Nyla Rose put on a better match. The promos, we seen the Redeemer basically saying his God is no more. He doesn't need him, doesn't even need his wife. I liked it. I just don't want it to start happening like it did before he went away, where all we do is see him on promotional videos. I love seeing him on the first edition of Collision. I did not like just seeing him on a fucking Tron this week. Swerve is underrated. I've got to say, some of his kicks look a lot better than a lot of the more experienced wrestlers out there. They look like they are intent on making an impact on the opponents. But yeah, it's the Miro thing. I don't want to see what happened last time happen again, where we're just seeing him mainly on doing a promo on the Tron. They could have just easily had him out in that ring to do it, or let him have another match. Don't let him go back to just being on our Tron, and that's it. I have no use for that. I don't even see why this was needed. It didn't catapult him up to face another opponent. It didn't do much of anything for him, except for, I don't need my God, I don't need my wife, I don't need anyone. This is all me now. Didn't really see the point of it. Looking back at the main event, I like the Gun's new entrance attire. I've been out of the game for a while, watching what's going down. Very much HBK look to their outfits, and we all know they are big fans of HBK as well as Bret Hart. So seeing that, and they've done the Bret Hart themed entrance attire before. Robinson in white, always look good in that ring. Don't always get the best swerve. I don't think they have been built up strong since introducing the Bullet Club Gold. I don't see anything gold about them right now. They'll win tonight, aligning themselves with the Guns. I think that makes them a little bit stronger. And the win helped in a big way. Punk and his entrance, the fans just drowning out all the Punk lovers out there. I enjoyed that. I think it was needed. I think piping in any kind of cheers that would diminish the impact that his entrance had on the Toronto fans. And I can see him tomorrow night at Forbidden Door getting booed out of the building. And I like it. Now they just need to make sure he goes full on heel. And FTR join him and really make an impact. Seen Austin Gunn favoring his arm in that match. At one point, he tagged out, immediately left the ring to get it checked out. And it's the funny thing how you spot these things when you're watching a little bit more when you want to do a review show. Clearly, something went down, ended up being all right. Probably just bruised a bone or whatever and just kind of sent a shock up his arm. Need to make sure he was all right. Got it quickly checked. The high knee by Punk on White in the corner looked fantastic. It was a good spot. but wasn't enough to get the job done. Ricky Starks taking a big loss there. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Your thoughts in the chat. Keith Lee, Hobbs, Luchasaurus, and I can't remember who we talking about. They don't use the big guys well. No, they don't. No, they don't. And if anyone would disagree with there, I'd like to hear it, or at least read it. Miro's first go-around, it should have ended with him taking the AEW World title at one point. You know, I think it was a must. I think it was a need. And I think it would have really catapulted him. If they start booking him again like they did in the past, or the way WWE was booking him, I think he needs to hit the indies then. Go up to New Japan, go out to all the other indie shows, and just find success there, because that guy's got a lot of talent, and he's gotten so much better on the mic. They need to start utilizing him correctly. Same with Hobbs, same with guys like Brian Cage. Keith Lee is another one. Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus has a look about him. He's not a heavy guy. He's tall. And removing the mask, he's got the look as well. Like, he'd go over if they just did away with that fucking god-awful mask. I don't even know why he would bother going to court in any kind of lawsuit or any reason. I would have just said, okay, you guys don't want me using the mask, take it off, get rid of it, come out, be more yourself. I don't know. It's strange to me. Eventually, I want to find a co-host for this and have a little bit of fun with it and get someone else's point of view while I'm live. Right now, it's all about just getting myself back into podcasting again. It has been a long time since I've done this. And acclimating myself back into doing the reviews. I know I move around a lot when I talk. There's a reason for it. I'm not going to go into it. And it hides things that I need it to be hiding. So we're going to call it there for the night. If you guys got any kind of things you guys want to discuss, put it down in the chat and we'll discuss them next episode. Remember, I believe Yeti goes live tonight, and that is under the Wild Eyed Yeti, aka the Naked One channel. You can watch out some Evil Circus and have a great time there. Have a lot of laughs with him, Evie, Meanie Girl. They're all involved in that show. And not just for the laughs, but building that show up, building the characters. So, enjoy the laughs with Wild Eyed Yeti. Should be fan-fucking-tastic. Now, I'm working things out with Bill Haight. Going to be talking with him we're going to set up a date. I'm not going to say in about a week or two. Want to review a lot of the stuff he's given me on Vampire the Masquerade. Things that I want to get involved in here on the channel. I want to get involved, have fun with it, and it starts with Bill Haight talking about Vampire the Masquerade. We're going to be doing that. Friday nights, Saturday morning my time, Friday night with Yeti, it is Two Guys, One Dumpster. And then tomorrow, we're not only going to do a show for RWO here on Pillar to Post, but we're going to be watching everything that goes down at Forbidden Door and following Forbidden Door. Anyone that wants to join me that is on my Skype chat, let me know. I'll bring you on. I don't care if you want to do face cam. I don't care if you want to just be on audio. We'll bring you on. We'll discuss Forbidden Door together. Have a good time with it. I can get someone else's point of view. We can go back and forth with the whole thing. I'll take better notes. And, it's all about having a good time, having some laughs. If we have that, I'm all good. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Always have a better tomorrow. We'll see you perhaps later on with Wild Eyed Yeti and Evie, Meanie Girl, and whoever else joins us. And we'll see you here tomorrow, not just for Forbidden Door, but RWO. Have a great one.